I just think that's because that's the most.
Because they
I don't
just
know,
happen to
like,
have the most.
or they just happen to, or they, you know,
See,
they
that's
have
what
a lot.
it's very vaguely. I don't know.
I don't think it matters.
Yeah,
and it's hard to mine. It's really hard to mine. Also, just mining this X16
RT.
something.
RT.
RT.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's my aim.
I don't think
I tried to set it up for my
well, the
AMDs
won't be that good on it. Yeah.
I don't think you were using the right miner though. I don't think.
Yeah, if you were using
that was another problem, but I will try it again.
I forgot to tell you. That's my fault.
Yeah,
I told you twice. I told you twice in the Discord, but I forgot to mention that because like when Platypus and I started first mining it, it was actually because of Goose's video, so I blame Goose.
Yeah, let's blame him.
Blame Goose.
Why?
Hey, why?
It's a new coin. Whatever.
But anyway, so then I was in their Discord.
Chill it. I didn't hold a gun to your head. I held a soldering iron.
So I got dredged.
It looked like a gun.
By almost 80, like 80%.
Oh,
yeah,
I think
the dredge miner is astronomically better.
Did I heard Seth just, or was it in my head?
Yeah, he's
Hola,
there.
caballeros.
Yeah.
¿Cómo están?
Hi.
Welcome, Seth.
I'm just kidding. I don't speak Spanish. I just pretend to on YouTube.
Hi.
Ah.
Yeah, I've got a webcam issue, and that OBS has got me all tied up in my filter flow over here to try to record and stream, and so it's like, nope, don't want to share that webcam.
No, it won't.
You have to turn off your webcam in OBS before you start Discord.
Right, but that's
because it'll try to use that instance. Yeah,
it's too late. It's seen everything, and so over on my channel, it's like everything. I've got an overlay, so I'm in the lower third. How about this? It's kind of neat. If you on my channel, my actual face is over my avatar face in Discord. So
incredible.
It's technology.
So what's up in the scene? I was very busy last week and real life and working, so it's the best chance for me to ask what happened on the last week. Is something new? What projects are you working?
Ooh, I'm mostly anti-shilling AMD releases. That's like all I'm doing.
Okay.
Anti-shilling, yeah. So Radeon 7.
Why?
Did you guys already talk about Radeon 7?
No, not quite.
Not yet, but that's coming up. Oh, that was yesterday. Oh, I totally forgot.
I'm gonna say, you guys ready for me to? Okay,
do you have one?
No.
Tell us something about it.
What, you don't want to spend $700 to get that thing?
I wouldn't mind spending $700, but what I really don't want to spend is $1,000, and that's street price now. If you really want one,
man,
want one today?
Oh, are they already bought out?
There's no way.
Oh yeah.
Are they already bought out?
Bruh, first 45 minutes sold out. Done.
So what about their performance?
Didn't they take pre-orders on that though?
They should have taken pre-orders, I believe, but I mean, anywhere that you could order
you could
live.
Only buy one. That's the problem.
That too.
Yeah.
I mean, well, unless of course you are somehow positioned to buy more than one, which we've seen on other launches too, right? RTX, same thing, right? Every flagship NVIDIA launch too. It's like, oh, what, 1 or 2 per customer, and then it's like, look, I got 10 of these. How'd you do that? So Radeon 7 now, yeah.
Yeah, what about their performance though? Like how? I mean, you got any info on that?
Yeah, so the leaked screenshots, which I mentioned in a voice chat over in Discord. Is it bad? A lot of our stuff, like we're kind of underground for a lot of our conversations now. We just don't. I don't publish as often because of the competitive advantage right now. Sorry, selfish mining, but yeah,
fair enough.
Screenshot right now came out. Kind of odd timing. Screenshot came out right as they went on sale. So it was either leaked internally or there was a pre-release model given to somebody somewhere. Nobody really wants to own that screenshot, but it shows almost 90 megahash on Ethereum and about 3 kilohash on Kryptonite variants. So just kind of extrapolating. Basically, you're looking at about 150% on Kryptonite of any other Vega, like first-gen Vega, and you're looking about 200% of first-gen Vega, and I looked at that, like, if street price is already up to $1,000, screw it. Just go get a couple of Vega 56s for the CapEx.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Vega's crush anyway, so, yeah, if they're at 1,000...
And Vega's still got potential. Vega's still have potential. These are good cards.
The Radeon 7 uses HBM2, or no? or GDR6?
No, it's HBM2, but I think it's
more.
4 banks, so it doubles the bandwidth even of the first gen Vega.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So,
I remember looking at some of the stats, but that was like a couple weeks ago, and they weren't even really released. So, but was like 16 gigs of HBM2.
Correct, but
yeah, that's brutal, dude.
Post CES though, I mean, I got a lot of hate from the AMD fanboys, and I feel bad because I am one, right? I've got Ryzen 7 over here, and I love me some AMD workstation class cards, and server cards are great. Depending on where you find them, how you source them. AMD, I mean, we all know Polaris. It's a top performer in mining until recently.
Mm-hmm.
But I found this announcement lackluster, right? When Lisa Su took the stage, I was like, oh no, they're like pushing, AAA game developers on stage because they don't really want to talk about other performance figures. So this is going to be, yeah, right. Like, I mean, with RTX at least, it's like, ooh, look, we've got a gimmick switch, RTX on, right? It's like the clapper, right? RTX on, clap, clap.
And they don't even have that.
No. Yeah. So
yeah, but okay, but
so no ray tracing or whatever on AMD.
Well, it's funny because they're actually quite good at path tracing, but you have to have really strong OpenCL development to go into path tracing that exploits AMD's architecture. So AMD has still got, I mean, they've had more horsepower for years, but they just have fewer bridles, I like to say. Like, so raw horses out there in the wild Mustangs, but you can't really make them do anything. So mining has kind of exploited that.
But maybe that's good for miners with older cards.
Probably.
That's what I thought about NVIDIA cards as well. It's good for us with existing mining. It's just too expensive, and yes, it's energy efficient, so the new cards aren't that bad, but they are just too expensive.
Yeah, NVIDIA exploited those shit out of the cryptocurrency mining craze with those $1,300 RTX, the 2080 Ti's.
Oh, geez.
Wow. There is no legit reason to make them that much. When the last generation that they created was what, $700, $600. That's 100% increase from the last generation. They were riding that crypto wave. Well, they thought everybody would buy them up. Yeah, they did. They did.
NVIDIA, man, the thing is that they embody the driving principle, right? The brand colors, green.
The problem is that they set a precedent, though. Now they can't just be like, okay, we sold the first wave of 2080 Ti's. Let's bring them back down to the regular price range where they should be, $700-800, whatever. Now they can't. You know what I mean? Because you'd just be like, wait, I just bought it. I bought it for $1,300. Like, screw you. You know what I mean? Like, why would you? Now they set this precedent. Now the next, like in a year and a half or 2 years when they come out with the next one, now they're going to be another $1,300 or $1,500 for like the top model. It's only because those new models would have been $700-800 if it wasn't for the crypto phase. That's the only reason, in my opinion. Like, I don't know. Yeah, it's so expensive.
Totally agreed. And gamers are still getting the short end of the stick. I mean, they thought they had to have a little reprieve with the bear market. They kind of did if they bought used, but now there's no going back. Genie's out of the bottle. New product releases. Yep. I mean, when Navi is released, look forward to more of the same. No matter what the announced price is.
But to say something positive, I think that AMD and NVIDIA, or most likely NVIDIA, maybe could have learned about the past and that they are now more interested in the mining because they learned that it wasn't the gamer who bought 6 cards.
Right.
And they lost much, and
I love those articles.
They try to. I think it could be that they are getting the idea to accept miners a little bit.
Those were funny, man. With my whole crypto news channel, it's just every day. I'm, for a couple years, basically looking up, crypto news, and I love the NVIDIA ones back in the day, 6-8 months, almost a year ago now. Like, NVIDIA is not quite sure on how much the crypto market has increased their revenue.
Yeah.
You're telling me you're a multi-billion-dollar company and you don't know that? I'm calling stinky shit on that one. I'm like, you could have hired me for $11 and I would have told you the answer. You know what I mean? Send it to me in PayPal. I'll email you back the answer, NVIDIA. How about that one? How about you go into a Best Buy or a Fry's Electronics? Why don't you step on to Amazon or Newegg.com? See how many GPUs you can pick up today when they all said out of stock. And like the shelves of Best Buy and Fry's Electronics or whatever electronics store looked like it looked like the canned goods section of a grocery store during a zombie apocalypse.
Sure.
Gone, done, gone. Like people even took the spinach. You know what I mean? Like people even took
canned spinach. Okay.
Yeah, Vienna sausages.
People even took the canned cauliflower. You're like, like I don't like cauliflower, but I haven't eaten 3 days. You know what I mean? You think gamers are getting 6-way SLI? What are you talking about, NVIDIA?
But it could be a thing. I mean, it could happen. 6-way SLI could.
Oh yeah,
yeah, totally makes sense.
Yeah, even though 4-way SLI basically doesn't exist and never even worked properly in the
6-way.
No, I beg to differ. X79 boards shipped with 4-way SLI bridge cards.
Oh man, that never worked, dude. Try getting your game to work on 4-way SLI, man. Try not to get a crash. You know?
Yeah, but
I'm just saying, like, it's just ridiculous what they're.
Back to the point, I think that it's a big chance, and I think the truth is in the middle, Sotko. Because there were back then times when mining was interesting, and NVIDIA, what's the name, moved up their production. They raised their production, 2013, and they got the problem. After the mining market broke down, that they just had too much GPUs, so they learned from that, and I think that's the problem NVIDIA and AMD got. They don't trust the mining sector. There's much money to make, but there's also much money to lose.
Well,
at this point, that they keep on that they can't sell the graphic cards.
Meep, I think you're totally right in terms of just the core chips, bin chips and stuff. I mean the inventory they've got lying around. I mean, the sheer volume.
Look at their stock reports. I mean, they're bleeding money like a sieve.
Yeah, that's now
they're down. Stock's down like 20% or something insane.
Yeah. Hey, can I give a quick channel insert here, guys? You're watching Sotko Cast on Mr. Sotko's channel. Are you being restreamed?
Wow! Oh, you being restreamed? I'm being restreamed. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
There's going to be a lot of legal ramifications for that. Oh, no.
Do you want me to contact your agent?
Yeah, you got. Well, I got my 20 people that are working with me. You just can't see them because they're over there. But there's 20 people. Like I said, one of them's always playing Minecraft, and that's how I get my Pepsi shills. And
yes, hey man, child labor only works if you're married. You got to produce them in house.
Well, fortunately, I'm in Arizona. I can just go right down to there, pick a few.
Snap.
Snap them up.
Few kids, a few wives. Oh, shots fired. Sorry, I'm just kidding. I joke. That's a Four Corners joke there.
I like somebody on my Twitch chat here said, "Holy shit, is that Seth or Strutter?" It absolutely is, guys. You have the name absolutely right. 100%. Type in YouTube Seth or Strutter and hit subscribe. No, I'm sorry, it's Seth Estrada, guys. You can YouTube it.
Yeah, you'll get some breadcrumbs. There may or may not have been some content, some controversial, some just expose.
Yeah. So what else is new?
The Strutter.
Oh man, Radeon 7 is kind of the big thing. I think in terms of like mining space, the small to mid scale miner. That's just my take on it. That's been the biggest part of the news cycle that's hit my radar. Is that it's like, oh wow, new hardware. We're also excited about this new hardware. Finally, something. That and the Sapphire card, right? Their mining edition Polaris card with the 16 gig VRAM. You guys
yeah, that was for they like the articles were saying they made that for Grin, but yeah, there was a bunch of articles going on that was like oh, AMD's making a Grin card, the Sapphire was 16 gigs, like for but I'm sure it can mine just about anything. I'd like to see a
AMD
whole
mine,
rig
which is basically Ethereum.
Yeah, and Monero.
And Monero, yeah, that's right.
And Kryptonite, yeah.
So they've got a little figure on their website. They've got a microsite for that card on Sapphire's website, where I mean, it's like, they're trying to do a proper product sort of hype cycle, and get ready for when it launches. And they've given a pre-release figure of 0.8 graphs per second on C31, which to me just seems unbelievable. It seems incredible. Are you guys mining any C31 on any Polaris cards? With GridMiner or anything?
I have a Polaris card.
Yes.
No.
Okay.
I have one Polaris card, but
I think Meep was mining Grin
Sure.
for a bit.
We invoke the dark spirit of Meep.
Yeah.
I'm still kind of mining Grin.
Yeah, I know.
There's
Staking Grin.
I had to take a
Grin,
phone
but,
call, so that's why.
wait. On AMD cards, I can take a look. Maybe I can give you a number just right now. But what did you say, Seth?
Polaris cards. So with GridMiner, any 8 gig Polaris cards, the mining edition 470s, maybe newer 570, 580. I mean, all those 590s you got too. I know you got them.
Hang on.
I mean, we all went out and bought 590, just like they wanted. I'm sure.
Just like they did.
Sako, I'm curious, man. While he's looking it up, what has got you excited in the mining space right now? I mean, or I should say, less face-punchingly depressed.
Yeah,
if not excited.
Bunch of nothing really. Like I said, I'm mining Veilcoin and staking it. So getting some stakes on Veilcoin, but other than that, man, not really. I'm not too hyped by Grin. I especially after reading the developers, small, the world's smallest violin. Like, I didn't get 55,000 euros, so I can't quit my day job. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, Grin, ooh, that's grim. So. Yeah, just Veil right now. I don't think, I think in terms of mining, I'm not so sure, but in terms of the crypto market in general, 2019 has got me a little worried in the sense that I think backed futures is going to make a small hype, in the market. Like, let's say backed futures is like, okay, we're going to come out April 1st, even though that's whatever.
It's a good date,
you know what I mean?
It's a good day for anything crypto.
It's a great day for anything crypto, exactly. But and I think in the few weeks that is before that, there's going to be a hype. There's going to be a hype cycle. People are going to be posting in the Reddits. They're going to be posting on forums wherever, be like, backed is coming, better buy in. And everybody's going to buy in. But I don't think people realize that backed futures is a futures market, right? You could short futures, you can long futures, just the same. So if there's a big hype, right, going up to it, wouldn't you want to short it? You know what I mean? Wouldn't people want to short it if there's a hype cycle up to it? So I don't know. I'm not sure. And then the whole institutional investor thing, the Bitcoin ETFs, institutional investors, they're coming. It's like Game of Thrones at this point. The dragons are coming. The dragons and the zombies are coming. I promise the dragons are, it's going to be in season 7, but, just wait 7 years.
Yeah, right.
And they're coming. But the problem with that I have with that, on the goods, I'll start with the good side first. And that's, your Bitcoin might go up in price. Great.
Maybe.
So that means all crypto goes up in price. Maybe. Yeah, exactly.
But I think there's an inverse relationship there.
One second. I got it. Bitcoin goes up. Why? Because they actually have to buy the Bitcoin as security.
With backed futures, they do. But with, for example, CME, the CBOE group, those futures that came on December 17th and literally the next day everything crumbled. Yeah. Wow, what a coincidence. Those are
They do not.
Those are paper trades. So,
that's the major difference. Yeah. Okay.
So it's essentially just like you might as well be betting on a horse race. Is it going to go up or is it going to go down? And then you pay in cash, you get paid in cash. It's settled. But backed is settled in Bitcoin. So they're going to have to buy Bitcoin in order to settle in Bitcoin. So that's a good thing. But anyway, I'm talking about the institutional investment overall. That's has been going on in the news and hype for who knows how long, since the end of 2017. And like I said, on the one side, is it sure your Bitcoin and crypto? Let me correct it. May go up in value, and that's going to make all crypto. But on the bad side, we have institutional investors into crypto, right, which is going to make a lot of regulation. And plus, when has institutional investments ever helped you? Right?
Yeah. No, exactly. You're buying the fox into the hen house. It's terrible.
I think for some point I disagree. I think it is good when the investors come in, the Bitcoin will pump, but question will be, will I have enough at this? And I must admit, at this point, I do not feel that I have enough Bitcoin, so I don't.
Everybody doesn't feel they have
No,
enough.
you won't.
It's like
not just now.
Yeah.
I wasn't quite done. The idea is that institutional investment is the antithesis of Bitcoin. Bitcoin was made, and I hate to use this cliche nonsense, but it was made by the people for the people, essentially, right? So that we could create our own currency and then trade on the internet with our own currency, right? And then everyone's excited for the government, for the institutions, for whatever, maybe not the government necessarily, but institutions to get into Bitcoin, which was essentially like, does not anybody not remember the Occupy Wall Street movement? You know what I mean? Like people used to hate the institutions, and now we're like, oh, as long as the institutions make my Bitcoin go up in price, like it's fine. You know what I mean? Well, but they're going to take all your Bitcoin, and then it's going to make it impossible to rebuy into Bitcoin.
Yeah, totally
if they raise the price.
Totally agree. On the negative side, I think you're absolutely right in that, like, Satoshi's white paper is only it's like 2 parts white paper, 1 part manifesto, and that manifesto is very, very anti-institution. Very much so. Like,
what's the whole point?
Yeah.
It literally was the whole point.
Literally the entire point. It's the only reason.
But people don't care as long as their crypto goes up in price. And that shows how many people just do not care about real crypto development. Yeah. And it's just because, whenever you put that connotation on crypto, and I hate this, because I do it all the time because you just kind of have to. But when you're like, oh man, I can't wait for Bitcoin to go to 20,000 because you want to cash out your Bitcoin to get your fiat, right? And that's okay. Like, that's okay. You know what I mean? It's okay to make some money. But it just really goes to show how 90+%, like, it doesn't mean anything to them. I bought into this ICO. Like, what does it do? I don't know. I just bought into it because it's going to go up 10 times in value.
It's not okay. It has nothing to do with contribution to do something for the system or for the blockchain or for the future. It's not even having a YouTube channel or telling something about Bitcoin. I hate these people most. It's okay because it's just trading. So if I got my Bitcoin at 20K, sure, I want to not have so much losses on it. But the thinking is wrong. It's the wrong way.
I agree. And Sako, to your first point about people saying, "Oh, perhaps the price will go up." Like, one thing about having institutional investors, one thing about having this sort of move towards institutional air quotes legitimacy, is that the proposed ETFs, when they failed, we can draw some conclusions about what the success will be based on what the consequences of failure have been. What happened when the ETFs didn't pass? Not a thing. Nothing. Not even a blip. There no problems at all with price action. It didn't even factor in. Nobody cares. It was actually active in the space. Nobody cares. We don't need an ETF. We don't need institutional investors per se.
Interesting point. Yeah.
Another thing that institutional investment will do is eliminate the volatility, which is good and bad. It's good because then it's going to be, a more stable currency, because you can't be trading something that goes up in value and down in value within days. Otherwise, you're going to get screwed, or the retailer is going to get screwed. But it's bad for people who like the volatility because they make money and because they day trade. And that's what they're going to do, because Wall Street uses so many. There are so many bots and so many Wall Street traders that, like, Apple stock won't go up. Like various stocks won't go up wildly most of the time. They do over time, but they usually don't go up too wildly because the bots will immediately buy and sell within a very close range of themselves, because they can't allow it to go down $1 and not be able to pick it up, or they can't allow it to go up $1 and then not actually sell it. With the whole Wall Street thing, there's so many bots that it gets picked up. Oops, kicking my desk. There's so many bots going up in value. They're gonna.
It's
but
not real. It's not even a tangible money.
On what Meep said, though, that institutional investors could give validity to crypto, and that's true too. But what I'd say is giving the most validity to crypto, at least in the United States, because I'm from the United States and I'm in my little bubble against the rest of the world. You know what I mean? Scratching. But is like these states that are coming out, like Ohio, Florida, Arizona, New Hampshire, that are accepting crypto as taxes, because people always say this is like people's general consensus of money is that, okay, the government makes money, even though it's the Federal Reserve. We're not going to get into that nonsense, but the government makes money, distributes it to the people in a big nutshell. Again, we're not going to get into it.
The key keyword is makes money, doesn't earn money.
Right, and then you're able to use that money to pay your taxes. Now it's valid, right? Because if you can pay the government your taxes with this money, then it's valid, right? So if these states open up cryptocurrency, it truly validates it in the government's eyes and in your eyes. If that's how you say it, you know what I mean? If that's how people say it, then now it's a valid currency because you can pay your state taxes. So much federal, but you can pay your state taxes now and your business taxes and things like that in crypto. Now it's valid. Now it's a valid currency, period.
Well,
because the
then
government
if that's the case, if that becomes true, then they have to treat it as a currency, not as an asset, which means we shouldn't have to claim every little transfer that we make, which is absolutely ridiculous right now.
Yeah,
like,
those are ridiculous, dude. I had somebody on my channel.
If I transfer like 0.0, if I print 3 Satoshis to myself, from just to move it from one wallet to another, and the price happened to go up a little bit, now I have to pay capital gains on sending it to myself? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I had somebody
that all
on my
has to be
channel,
revamped.
dude, who I don't know if it was true or not, but he commented on my channel, and he also commented on one of the tax videos I kind of made a while back, and he was saying, he's like, oh my God, like I have, it says that I owe $100,000 in taxes. Like I made $100,000 in transactions, and like I don't know what I'm gonna do. And the guy was like, I hate to repeat it, but he was like, if this is true, I'm gonna off myself. And I'm like, whoa, dude. First of all, whoa. You know what I mean? Like, don't do that. First of all, $100,000 in transactions shouldn't equate to $100,000